But Ascent finds a through at any point, and time now, and it is finally there. Ham on the board, maybe a chance at Kawasi, but he's got too much to account for, too much to deal with.
There's only one map left today to decide our final spot in the playoffs between EG and 100 Thieves. EG just came off of a hot map 2 of Bind, beating 100 Thieves on their best map and doing it with EG's new signature, Superman's Omen. And we're going to be diving into round 11 here, where they use it beautifully. This round is a masterclass. The first thing you're going to have to see right now from EG is they have two beastly ultimates. They've got the Raze ult, they've got the Thrash ready to go. Now, EG know that 100 Thieves know this. And they read 100 Thieves like a book here. They anticipate that 100 Thieves aren't going to be playing very far forward and are going to play deep into the site and bait that out. So, round starts. What do we see? There's a Sky Flash sent over towards Hookah, and EG move into showers quickly. The first thing you see is this Omen smoke. They throw this every time they walk up into showers or walk up into A short. And what it does is means there is no TP crunch. No player can jump through that TP and fight. It's just not going to happen because you run into that. And 100 Thieves know this, so they're not going to fight there. Now, EG run into this Brimstone smoke on the other team right here, but they actually don't use any utility to clear through this. Again, anticipating 100 Thieves are going to be playing much further back into this round. They use good spacing, come out together with a few shots to get into this round, and it means they've got Wingman, they've got Thrash, or Dizzy rather, to exec into the site very quickly. Now, at the same time, you'll see over on the other side of the map that they're splitting into the site, so it's pretty interesting. Raze has Rocket, but Brimstone is going to enter in behind the dog here, and Supa on the Omen is going to enter on this side. EG aren't actually using their ultimates in this site exec, so they move on forward here. He's going to pump out a Paranoia over onto the right-hand side of the map and then TP up onto Triple. Look where he is. He TPs onto the lower elevation of that box so that the Brimstone smoke they put down conceals him. He can then jump up onto the higher elevation and look over this. He sees and hears Asuna going for that spam shot, so he comes up over the top. It's beautiful. There's even a paint shell going onto the ground to create even more chaos on the back lines there. But it doesn't stop there either because they also smoke off Heaven. That's what he just TP'd into, right? That third smoke is down there since the start of the exec, but he's using it after he gets those 2 kills to heat up even more, go into Heaven, put himself in this position where he gets yet another kill. And it's so frequent on all of EG's A execs. They're using the Paranoia, they're using these annoying teleports that you're just not used to dealing with. And he ate 100 Thieves up. He was such a pivotal factor in EG winning that second map and forcing it to a game 3. Come on, let's go over to the desk.
Excellent breakdown there, Ender. And yeah, I mean, it just goes to show, right? Like how impactful that one change was. Bringing the Omen in for EG just gave them flexibility that honestly has just been impressive to see implemented.
And teams aren't used to seeing this
No.
yet. EG's the only team running this comp, and it goes beyond just the rounds you're showing. They have similar ideas on defense. This is such a well thought through approach to Bind, and it nets them a win here to keep their playoff hopes alive, Dre.
Actually unbelievable that we're going to map 3, but we wouldn't want it any other way because this is so close. The stakes that are at hand and the beef, the bad blood between the teams, it's unreal.
Yeah, you know, both teams desperately want to get this win, but neither one wants to give up the L, right? So not just for the personal reasons, but also because the playoff spot is up for grabs. There's so much at stake here.
Yeah, I mean, they win that map, EG, despite Bang dropping 24 kills on the Viper and dominating on that map.
Yeah, and now we go into Ascent, and we're going to see Cryo probably playing that Jet against Jogamo, who has been playing Duelist this entire series. Now, my questions lie in, with Cryo not playing Duelist yet in this series, is he going to be able to just step up to the plate and start banging out like that?
I don't know, he has some crazy shots, so.
To be fair, though, he's had a rough season. We have seen a marked decrease from stage 1 to stage 2 in his performance.
And this is a game where now the teams are in new territory. EG have not played this map since stage 1. 100 Thieves haven't played it since they were losing to Gen G back at Masters. It is a new territory for these teams.
And it's do or die. These two teams have a coach, each of who was a part of that EG championship roster last year. And it's all about hooking up a game plan, finding the adaptations on the fly to win out this map and get that last playoff slot.
The stakes have never been higher for both of these teams. For Evil Geniuses, an opportunity for them to go and defend their organization's world championship in Seoul, Korea at our VALORANT Champions, For 100 Thieves on the other side, an opportunity for them to find themselves at a Champions event and right the wrong of Shanghai, give themselves that comfort of knowing, hey, we did it. We accomplished the task. This is it, folks. One map separates these two teams. Let's send it back over to the casters. Uber to Wyatt for the call.
Including coaching staff, 4 world champions in the server, and collectively, they are throwing haymaker after haymaker, leaving it all out there. With playoffs here in stage 2 on the line, there's a legacy to chase for Evil Geniuses and 100 Thieves. Another stage championship wouldn't go awry.
We've gone over to Ascent, the map that everyone has played so many times, so familiar with the standard calling styles on this map, the standard compositions. Nothing new is going to be brought to the table here. Last time we saw Evil Geniuses on this map, it's when Jojimo finished things off with one of the best aces you will ever see in the history of this game on the Jet.
The Flying Bucky.
We haven't seen him on Jet much, maybe even not once so far this stage.
Jordan wanted to sneak up cut there, spotted out by the turret. Lucky to get out alive. Can't say the same for Apoth though. Cryo shuts him down instantly. Finally, Cryo on a duelist here. Chance to have that skill expression on display.
We've seen him on Omen. We've seen him on Brim. Silvers. The weak Jojimo. His ex-teammate taken down.
Super in trouble. He's going to be pinched in this corner, and he knows it. EU descends upon him. Nature from heaven at least able to trade it. But knows he needs to pull the plug for now. EG fighting from a 2-player disadvantage.
There are a few players that could get killed theoretically by one shot. Dardos and up barely around the corner.
It licked at his feet, but he snuck around the corner. Here comes the flash in, managed to shut down, never managed to alight from heaven. Beautiful shooting from Derek, but it's just not going to cut the mustard. 100 Thieves take the pistol away.
Lovely first little clutch attempt there from Derek, but not going to be enough.
Attack side pistol win for 100 Thieves here.
Yeah, that is big. An attack-favored map, especially with these standard compositions. We've seen for years now here, all these players so experienced at dealing with it, understanding the flow of the game here. Some nice shooting from Derek, but not enough. If he can keep that form up, though, Sova has so much influence over the outcome of an Ascent game. The play on B specifically is really of the utmost importance for your defensive side. A good Sova can lock down that site entirely.
And between Derek and EU, we have some of the best in Americas. Early posturing from EG towards A main. Hoping 100 Thieves would test the one-way. Ultimately, though, it goes respected. As Cryo here has been a role player all series. Now a chance to spread his wings. Apoth's able to sneak back around the corner and a shock dart. A decent bruise left on Cryo after that.
There wouldn't be a better time than this for Cryo to return to that elite form that we saw him during Stage 1, and then especially into the Stage 1 playoffs. I mean, the numbers he was putting up, what he was doing on a server, Brim, Duelist, doesn't matter. It was just unbelievable to watch him, and he has not been able to recreate that in Stage 2.
Nicely done. Again, 100 Thieves very meticulous on trying to unravel the anti-eco. Essentially a full save here for Evil Geniuses, and Apoth had nowhere to go there after getting pinged out.
30 seconds
Nature about to get busy here. 3 players up on cat, it will take 1. Taxing the numbers of 100 Thieves.
Obviously, this is just about damage for Evil Geniuses. Anything they can get. Jojimo, top gen, drops down. Playing in the smoke.
Spike planted.
It's Bang knows he's there, but has to take a close fight. The right click served him well. 100 Thieves have the numbers and the arsenal. Carry 2 Vandals into our 3rd round.
And this is where we'll find out if they can capture momentum early.
Something EG love, Wyatt, is a good old tiles crunch. They like to set Nature up there in Cat Cubby and have him pressure with a fast push out of mid by Jorg. Something worth keeping an eye out for.
My man is feasting.
Get the man another glizzy.
It's going to be a pressure, though. Early here from EG. Wow, swinging off this Superman. They're going to try to retreat. Keep that man advantage.
Decent damage there as well as the swing came through. Ascent very low.
I don't know if Jojo needs to re-swing that. Confidence or carelessness goes down either way.
Just playing Hungary, just saw the clip from the crowd. No one-way at the start of the round there for Superman. They just wanted to straight fight that. 1 for 1 when it's 100 Thieves' bonuses. Probably not what EG are looking for. Hedwig has a look up mid.
And the EU playing quite relaxed there. Hasn't expended any utility yet. Superman. My God, he is an animal on this map, Mitch.
A wide jump peak, though, to be fair. Lucio exposing himself in a big way. Superman leaves the round with 3. We'll have to be happy with that. So many times he's repeated that same volume of frags. Such an impact fragger this match.
The entirety of Apoth's util is scattered across B. Camera broken.
Take flight.
And Apoth believes that it will be ending on A. Begins to rotate VCT already. Nature, great catch with the first. Apoth needs to accelerate to help his IGL convert this 2v1.
Just holds the line. Bang steps up and is sat back down. EG made sure work of the 100 Thieves bonus.
What an elevation in the individual play right now from Nature. Stepping up when they need him most. When it comes to the fragging distribution, the kills per round, he sat the lowest on his team typically, and that's not abnormal for an IGL. But when you have one that can turn up the heat at a time like this, and goddamn does Superman turn up the heat. I mean, on this map, Ascent specifically, this is genuinely the map that I associate him with in my mind. For years, the anchoring that he displays here on Ascent is so strong, so steadfast, especially on this A site.
A lot of action early at A main here. One way was deployed. It looked almost as if EG would fight it. 100 Thieves, though, don't get the satisfaction just yet.
Now the operator in the hands of Jojimo, we saw, Outlaw early, but we saw the impact with him with those scoped weapons on Lotus. That was actually when the tide started to turn, is when he picked up the operator. So perhaps leaning into those weapons early on could give them a bit more of an early lead. It was on Lotus where they had to try to make a huge comeback. They were never in control of that.
Yeah.
Enemy marked.
Pings from Apoth now.
Cage triggered.
Cyber Cage is definitely going to stagger things out a bit more. 0 point being set up here for Ascent. No one really anchored on the B side though. Apoth decides ultimately to back away. And yep, here it is. Going to be a fast hit behind this null command. Flash in. Apoth able to turn it around the corner. Ping on bang, but he's back around the corner himself. And Apoth has to get out.
Trying to find some damage deals now, and every 100 Thieves player still maxed out on the HP as EG gather up for full 5 versus 5 retake. We saw on Bind
30 seconds
their
left.
full retakes, fantastic. The protocols in those situations were so ironed out.
But on Lotus again, they really had a lot of great retake util, and 100 Thieves stood their ground and fought them off. So which one is it going to be? Okay, Hunter's Fury here from Boathouse. Superman! Yep. Gonna get his wings clipped there. Joggerman tried to take that fight with the Outlaw. Ascent able to catch him. Nate just swings on in though. Does get pinged by the recon, and Cryo wants to follow it up. Just the one. 2 defenders left now. Working opposite sides of it, but they'd much rather contain 100 Thieves in the blast radius here.
And 100 Thieves do a good job getting away with at least a couple of the guns. EG realizing time was never really on their side there. And tough to burst back into the site when your Jet is holding an Outlaw. Didn't exchange a rifle with him, was trying to just make a little bit of space with the Classic, but ultimately unable to do so. Unable to deal with B main effectively. EU perfectly timing the Hunter's Fury as well.
Couldn't TP out of it.
Enemy down.
Absolutely brutal stuff. 3 attack side rounds already for 100 Thieves, and forcing EG now onto an eco.
At the very, very least, small consolation, but EG do accomplish that last-second mission of keeping the 100 Thieves economy honest. There are a couple players at 0 right now, Ascent with just 400, so they expect to lose, you know, they're going to try their best to win this round, but if they lose, if they can continue to deal damage to 100 Thieves, they'll have an opportunity to break their economy when they finally do get on the bye round, to get back into this game, to stop the snowball that 100 Thieves are creating right now.
Cryo inches up. Log's position here being held down by Apoth. Jump peeking of mid being conducted by Derek. Sees nothing at all.
Spike drop.
100 Thieves have done a nice job dealing with this utility so far from APA. They've been clearing it out of, I mean, pretty wow, heads up from EU there as well. Gets a nice bit of damage onto that.
It's like he knows a recon won't ping that log's position. So he sends a shock in after it. Big damage on APOT.
EG have stacked up towards this A site though. Some clean shots could result in an upset round win. Superman starts it off.
2 from Super! Can he do more? Jorg chimes in with his own sheriff now. And this town ain't big enough for the two of these teams. Someone's got to fall. And the timing's going to be good for this swing out of smoke. I think Derek's gotten behind them. It doesn't matter. Super's got to fall. Spanks 100 Thieves and brings up the EG Thrifty.
I'm telling you, this A site is on lockdown. You cannot get past Superman on this area of the map. It doesn't matter what goddamn weapon he has. The headshots are so clean. Look at that flick, the transfer, the spray down with the Vandal. Potter feeling the energy from that one as well.
Tell you what, it's been a day for the individuals, and Superman more often than not has been in that conversation.
And now because of that previous damage on 100 Thieves, relegated to this eco. One Guardian in the hands of EU. Obviously, there are a lot of areas on Ascent where those high-end weapons can get damage done. Cryo, Blade Storm, headshot converted.
What?
Oh my god, and a Boostio now as well.
He had to ping off the recon and still Boostio wins it out. Now this is awkward, back and forth, these teams threatening to thrifty each other. EU brings APOT to kill, and now it's up to Derek and Nature. And they both have to play from heaven. Decent weapons. Seeded over to 100 Thieves now. They're going to have to play off the flash. Nature drops down, but he's in with the paranoia. Derek at 4 HP. I'm telling you, it's blow for blow. Knockdown, drag out brawl here on Ascent.
How does this just go so awry for EG? Credit to Cryo for this Blade Storm kill. Opens it up against Jaw. That heavy armor, just enough to stop that outlaw from finding the first blood.
I mean, and Jorg does not expect to see two players outside of tiles when he swings that.
What a sudden shift in the game. I thought for what a moment, I think we all did, that EG had captured that momentum back.
Has anyone thought to get this guy a standing disc?
He sat down now, it's all right. His legs, at some point, Mitch, his legs are going to get tired. He's got to take a seat.
Think of the ergonomics of it here. It's been a long day for these guys. 100 Thieves there. We said, okay, great job. 3 attacking rounds. Well done. They get thrifty. We go, oh dear. And then they produce a round like that. Cryo, someone we have pointed the finger at over the last couple of maps. Not always put in a position to shine, to succeed, to have that outsized impact. Now, though, is being equipped to lead from the front.
He doesn't just need to step up, he has to. Frankly, he has just been absent for his team in this stage. He has not been able to drop bombs on enemies as he did in those playoffs in stage 1 when 100 Thieves went on a tear, when they were unbeatable. Out of this timeout though.
5 ults for EG.
5 ults from EG. Timeout called from Potter, no doubt, obviously because of that. And they have fully bought into this, and that means investing in a Stinger and a Bucky.
Immediately APOT forced off that line. Null command here, gotta be used. There's over the A side though. And immediately 100 Thieves start to thud into the side. Here's that Hunter's Fury. Decent catch there for Derek, and he brings EU down. Cryo though instantly on the side in B, clambering over the mud. And Ascent will be brought back into the fray. 4 up for the Thieves, and they're on the side.
Nature with a null command now to pop on this retake. Jojimo knives in hand. It's the Bucky Blade Storm combo for Jojimo on Ascent once again, Mitch.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Cryo tests CT briefly. Jorg from above. I don't know if Bang was aware of it anyway. Jorg got taken down. Ascent clips his wings. Flyboy needs to hit the hanger until next time. TP for Superman here. Got to play a ping down on the site. They're very low. Oh, they're so low. Cryo down at 29. Boostio trying to hold his ground. Pressure coming in from stairs, but again, the KO's brought down. And what a shot. It's up to Derek. Ascent hiding in boathouse now. Timing is everything, but time is short for Derek, and he finds the swing. But Ascent was quicker. 3 Ks for the young gun. 100 Thieves extend that lead. 5 attacking rounds.
EG invest everything they had left and they're broken in half. Asuna cleaning things up, dealing with his former teammate.
Fighting demons out there.
This fight forward here from 100 Thieves, and then falling back into the site to play the crossfires.
Clutch.
That round meant everything. Now, economy fully broken by EG. They've been pacified. Well, Super never one to be kept down, I guess. Far less audacious than he was in previous rounds, and this Aldrone was going to force him off this. Jorg, quite a game for him. Not yet online. A sleeping giant.
Have been trying to find value on some of those rounds with the Outlaw, but was ultimately unsuccessful. And they haven't had the economy to get an operator in his hands if their intention on defense is to really work that scoped weapon as the linchpin of their setups.
Oh, awkward. Jorg! Cryo took him down, he had nowhere to go. Damn if you do and if you don't. These A-main smokes, though, being replenished. So hard to shift Super as he anchors this A-side.
This deep cam is some information now. It does spot out Boostio. Or that just being the KJ, not an immense amount of information. That's a standard spot for Killjoy just to be containing, but obviously now the herd of footsteps coming through. Superman is going to TP to assist Apoth here.
Okay, this will slow things down. They're going to have to disrespect the smoke if they want to fight now. They come, here come the Thieves for Speedway. One for Apoth. Superman can't have a ridiculous round this time. And now Derek is in an unenviable position.
Spike planted.
They will be brought to heel. Cryo 3 in the round. 100 Thieves. I'm keeping count. That is 6 rounds on the attack side.
Shut down immediately by Cryo, and the lockdown used there by Boostio just to lock up a critical round, keep their economy building. They've already gotten 6 on Ascent attack. That is enough to win the game, no doubt. This is a defensive-sided map. And they've run away with this starting half. EG are going to be feeling such pressure, such weight on their shoulders right now to come back into this.
Might be a defensive pop out of A-main again. Just a trade of utility. Pleasantries exchanged.
Paranoia for paranoia. Blow for blow. Jojimo has the operator. Gets a shot off but can't connect.
Timing! Cryo gets a free timing.
Oh,
That's all he's gonna have. Superman is the immovable object. Now Ewan Bang clambering here into some kind of position on the A side. Means he might have found a way in.
Try to timing this, he does!
He's not got it. Jorg was watching that. I think he got spotted as well on the way through. And it's just the EU. And as you do, jump and take the shot. EG get one back. Far too few of those rounds though have come up for the defenders this half.
And the few that they have are all credit to their controller, Superman, who is just, as you said, the immovable object on the A site. They cannot route him out. They can barely even do it if he's just stood there with a sheriff.
What you don't know about Superman is 80% of his mass is below the ground, like an iceberg. Can't shift him.
Still, though, the state of the economy for 100 Thieves is going to allow them to buy up for multiple rounds in a row here. Operator from Jojimo will be dragged over towards B main, posted up. Where that Cypher setup is, again, Apoth has really focused his attention towards that side of the map.
Cryo hanging back there, behind that turret. He might get rewarded for this.
Are they really going for a deep push right now?
Patience. Pays.
Cam sent in.
They'll see nothing. They're going to go for it. Cryo! Oh! Brought down. That one's going to sting. Just as we thought. He was starting to get going in this game. He had the right idea, but again, sometimes the execution falls short.
A good 0 point sent out from nature. Proper timing. Finds a couple players. One was EU. Just getting that ult orb. Has the Hunter's Fury activated. Could turn this round in their favor. In the favor of 100 Thieves, who've still got this strong lead.
Bang's gotten in. Superman playing so passively. Yep, they've allowed 100 Thieves onto the side. There might be something here. Nature just jiggling from heaven. Smoke thrown up in his way. Hunter's Fury up for the attackers here. EU, they're not in the best place to make use of it. Will Al drone up towards heaven, though?
double stack towards tree. Mecha does have flashes. When this suppression wears off, could be able to blind both these players.
Jorg going to want to dash out behind this with the tailwind, I'm sure. King's one around the corner, 6 a second. He knows it's stacked heavily. Cloudburst throws down. He has to find another axis of approach here. And here it is. APOC comes on the flank. Jorg explodes it now. EU and Bang have to hold it down. Oh, the correction wasn't there. And it's up to Derek. Sat outside of hell. EU is embedded in 100 Thieves. Get another one. They can't keep getting away with it.
And again, it comes down to a mistake that was made on Bind from EG as well. And some of these rounds, a couple of them only, but they play slightly too passive on defense, give up the smallest of angle, and it's been exploited by 100 Thieves.
They're making progress in through tree. They break up that crossfire with APOC's flank. Jorg finds that one and misses the crucial shot on the corner.
And initially, it's that contact through main that Superman is just not totally aware of. EU Crosshair trained on that left side angle in hell. Timeout.
Busio, often
Not
we see him
called.
having fun, joking around. He looks mad. He wants to shut the door in this plucky EG squad.
I was about to I thought for sure there was a timeout. Who broke their mouse? What happened?
Take a moment here as you see the belief on Arsena's face there. That is EU leading the applause, by the way. Nice to know he's got the bandwidth here to hype up the crowd. Busio's being demanded to flip a water bottle. There's a bit left in there. I think he's actually... Oh, he's talking to Shanks across the stage, actually, yeah. Wow, top 10 anime battles, boys. Sure you can't save it for later, or what? The best part is they look like they could hear each other. They can't. Those are noise-cancelling headset on Busio. He can only guess what Shanks is saying.
We'll have a second paid event, Boostio versus Shanks out in the car park later after the show.
All right, jumping back in here, folks. 7-3 is the scoreline. 100 Thieves have strung 4 out of the last 5 rounds together and entered this one, well, with an Alchemand and that Hunter's Fury. Blade Storm for Cryo. Is it a fast hit? It might be, Wyatt.
It's at least a fast take of B main, with Command active.
APOC forced away already. The Hunter's Fury trained on him. Jorg out from logs. Okay, brings the KO down. That could be rectified, but not if Derek has something to say about it. Cryo moves up. Spike is loose on B, but there's time at least for EU to get in behind it. Bring Arsena back. Have 3 players to work with. Paranoia here. Will interrupt, but a Cryo waiting. What patience from him. It's 3 in the round. What a way to silence the doubters. Derek gets a gun at least, but that's about it. And the fast hit from 100 Thieves really just washes EG away. Bingo!
He stepped up so much for them. Duel after duel being won now.
Last
Was
round
quiet in the
half.
series until this point. Shuts down Derek, who tried so hard to bring the round back with that Hunter's Fury. He's had 2 already, gotten 3 kills total with them. And on both attempts, it hasn't been enough for EG to convert a round win. They need this last one. It's a accordion each.
No armor for nature. Whatever EG have left, they're going to try and make use of here. 3 rounds on defense would be deplorable. Cry here now finally gets a chance to show what he's capable of. Not that we didn't know. Nice to be reminded, though.
We'll have to challenge Superman. It's just been
Rock solid.
a beast over on A. Tries to time this drone, get a peek, going to have to fall back. Presence known.
Volley thrown in, wide direction. I think they have to spend more to clear it. Yep, even recon deployed. Superman not the type to really TP across like that. Even though he throws the smoke, that implies it. This one here. But Cryo could see above it anyway. Superman has to be so patient here. I think he's going to test this, though. He shows himself right in to the web that Cryo spun.
Jogmo placed in the corner. Does he get hit by the 0 point? Yes, I believe he did. They know he's there. He's getting spammed.
He's just got to hold his ground. He's got no choice but to go for it. Trying to swing for the fence, but it's a foul ball, Wyatt.
He lost the ability to dash away because of that well-placed knife from Asuna.
30 seconds left.
And it's almost a certainty they convert this last round. 9 rounds on Ascent attack is just so strong. Such great calling from Busio. And frankly, it was a very straightforward half. They really just had free reign over the B site.
Nothing subtle about it, Wyatt. There's no reinvention of the wheel. It's good, solid VALORANT. Honest VALORANT. There's a flash that did not affect Cryo in the slightest.
They displayed good fundamentals on this half within the hits.
Which was our biggest criticism of 100 Thieves in that Leviathan matchup.
Yeah, against Furia especially as well. That is something they're beginning to iron out. They're looking better with. But yeah, straightforward half overall from 100 Thieves. They kept things simple, back to basics. Those B hits were just working over and over and over. The only time they got stopped was towards A. Credit to Superman, but even he wasn't enough.
All right, tied up at the 9-3 for 100 Thieves heading to the half in a tight series. Stick around, more after this.
Welcome back, everyone. 100 Thieves on the verge of punching in their playoff spot, but we still have one more half left to play. Let's go ahead and dive into what we saw because, man, there was one round in particular, Mimi, that was absolutely pivotal.
Yeah, we started with a really competitive game here, back and forth thrifties, but EG make the call to go for this 4 spot when they have 5 ults online. Not a bad call in and of itself, but it is staking their half on winning this round. And 100 Thieves, with a great retake in the late round and some lovely coordination, won it and completely took over the half after this pivotal swing.
Yeah, this round was so important. And Cryo, he's been great all game. I had doubts. I was like, can he even do it after playing Omen on the first map, playing Brim on the second map? But he showed up and he won most of the first engagements that he had. I think he went 4-2 in first kills, first deaths.
And this is in the context of a stage 2 where Cryo has been struggling, but he is stepping up when his team needs them. Remember, for the stage 1 champion, if they don't close this out, they won't even make playoffs. But it's a lot harder for EG. Only 3 rounds going into this second half with their playoff hope on the line as well.
It's a tall mountain to climb for evil geniuses. Let's see if they could do it. Riot Games Arena, let's make some noise as we get ready for this match. I'll send it back over to your casters.
Your stage 1 champions of Americas return from Shanghai after a disappointing result. And it's rough. It's nose to the grindstone straight out of the gates in stage 2, and they struggle to find any results. MIBR was their sole win of this stage so far. And all of a sudden, they go from champions to being in a do-or-die position. And here they are, on the precipice of qualifying for playoffs in stage 2 as well.
And it's a position that most of these players on EG, the pressure of the position, they've never felt. For Superman, Nature, for Apoth, who was just on the EG reserve roster last season, and now backs up against the wall, do or die. If you win here, you are in the playoffs. Whichever team loses, they are out. Massive disadvantage for EG, both on the score, but also the disadvantaged half, the attacking side of Ascent.
9 attacking rounds for 100 Thieves. Almost unheard of at this level. EG get onto the side though, and Lewis! Nature able to take Busio down with that molly. Bang has to step on to the nanoswarm in order to take that fight. So it's an advantage to EG now moving into the post plant.
Nice fast trade from Nature, Recon.
Cryo's ready to smash and dash here. Oh, it runs out and Superman brings him down anyway. Again, it's Superman always. EU, only 2 for him. EG with a very short pistol.
Right back to the jumping classics that we saw on the first pistol. This time it was Derek. keeping it simple. Good utility backside. Those players in Hell dealt with nature. A great trade. Could be the beginning of something for them. There were a lot of back and forth thrifties, namely 2 of them back and forth early on in that first half that were both big momentum shifters. 100 Thieves, Boostio has the lone sheriff. For the most part, both of these teams throughout this series have been opting for the 5 classics only. And actually, EU has a stinger, didn't even notice that.
It's another game where we need to see Jorgamo get going. Quiet, very quiet first half. Often getting caught out by these fast hits from the Thieves. Nature instead just says, no, I'm checking this, saving my flash for later.
Pure contact. Yeah, going to have to use that molly for wine though, since they didn't have eyes on A main. They discover it's empty.
But I don't want to use the recon for that.
Many 100 Thieves players here.
Derek sees some action there and help. They're picking that close corner. Not sure about who might be there. Ascent might actually assume that position now. Close to it, at least. Boostio wins it out with that Sheriff. Not a great sign for the attackers. Ascent will force EG to scatter here. Further slowing down his A-hit.
Both pieces of utility from Ascent are very important. The molly pushes them back. The 0 point catches them in that position they were routed to. On the recon now as well. There's 30 seconds left.
So much. I mean, there's no choice. EG had to commit here. They've got the better weapons, but they don't have the information.
They've been giving Superman time to work up here. Cryo close range, though.
It's being watched for. Cryo knows it, but does he have the agency to do anything about it? EG able to get in. Superman brings him down. Now they start to collapse. EU trying to buy time, stay alive behind the Gen. He actually gets Nature with that stinger. Another swing. Derek was low. And it's up to Boosty Boy again. In the post plant against 2 Guardians.
Derek is one-shottable from the Sheriff. Just a body shot would take him down.
Boostio now. This would really shut EG down. It'll open the door for 100 Thieves win. This has to be perfect though, and even perfect against Superman might not be enough.
Yeah, the one man you don't want to take a 1v1 against on the EG side right now.
It's just uncanny. You just, every time he goes into one of those fights, you've got to believe he takes it. 9 times out of 10.
All the times his disposition, he's so calm. He's so relaxed. And he is so experienced. He's been playing professional VALORANT for 4 years now, since the beginning, and he's always been a solid player. But he just hasn't had a chance to really show that on a stage as grand as this. People are very aware of his talents now.
Here's the bonus for EG, featuring 3 Guardians. And an operator into the hands of Cryo, something the 100 Thieves are always looking to do.
Deploying drone.
They break that alarm bot that's placed in mid very quickly. Now EG, wow, dink. Onto Jorgamo. Boostio wishing he had a Vandal.
Still great damage onto a duelist. Cryo doesn't take the shot there, doesn't see the second jump across. The Cloudburst does its job. He'll have to play from middle through CT. Boostio tries to make a rotation to Speedway, but Superman again. Eyes in the back of his head, apparently. Paranoia for EU. It catches him, he doesn't think it would. Now he'll swing this corner. The flash was so good from Ascent, but he couldn't capitalize.
And who capitalizes again? Superman. He's so good right now. Nature in this forward position. No one to help. Has to get his.
He's got the advantage on the angle, but Cryo wins it out. Just inches into it. Remember, Jorgamo down to 10 after those couple shots that came in from Boostio. Bang has a Paranoia. Jorg playing close inside that smoke, knows it's here or never. That's just brought down.
That's pure spam from Derek.
This is a bonus for EG. Remember that.
Time dwindling, Mitch.
I don't think they can do this. I think they might have to save. Cryo in danger. Jorg brings it down. Bang, currently get out of this situation. Hits the Paranoia, but doesn't have anywhere to go, really. Take guns away if he can. But EG are playing with Hass money, and Hass always wins.
Economy cracked for 100 Thieves, and just like that, EG are back in the game. A 9-3 deficit, now 9-6. Should be 9-7 unless 100 Thieves make something ridiculous happen on their eco round. I mean, we were just talking about him, but again, Superman, man, he drops down into logs, gets the crucial trade. His duelist, his entry Jorgamo is so weak, can't really do anything. And frankly, Jorgamo hasn't done much in this game yet either. He's the one who needs to step up.
But that's the beauty of it. Always someone ready to step up and take his place. Hunter's Fury here. Jorg gets caught by that one. Cryo to bring him down. Signs of life here for 100 Thieves now as they back up to the A side. They got what they came for.
I mean, that's some gusto from 100 Thieves, sending out the Hunter's Fury early on an eco. It finds them an advantage, but even still, is that going to be enough to convert against a Hunter's Fury from the opposition, a full buy from the opposition?
They got Jorg's gun. Vandal now over to EU. Now through mid here, EG are slowing it down. Still the alarm bot here that will herald APOS position. And well,
Big brother moment.
someone should, yeah, never mind. That got cleared up. Busio able to reposition, no harm done. Apoth raiding his position over to the rest of his team. And here's that attack side Hunter's Fury. Apoth has gotten in the speedway already. Nature.
Superman at the same time, TP backside.
Traded by Busio. He was though there with the Sheriff.
30 seconds left.
EU has to take a beat before making this approach out of market here. And EG have their players in on B. 3 versus 3. 100 Thieves on a thrifty round.
3 versus 3, but 2 of those 100 Thieves players very weak and low on weaponry.
No need shock dart and Molly for the defenders to work with here. Can they make effective use of them? 2 Guardians for the attackers, but they are entrenched. They are dug in for a long winner, EG. Again, it's 100 Thieves who have to get involved and get moving to try and stop this round. Okay, Molly's come through. Arsenal wants to try and go for it, but it's one after another, one by one, and Derek exits around with 3 kills. EG with 4 in a row.
Perfect crossfire setup back there from EG. They just have Apoth playing close. Derek ready to swing from backside. Who's now taken over as the top fragging player on the leaderboard for Evil Geniuses. Going up against his old team. This year on EG, Derek has surpassed himself on 100 Thieves last year in every single statistical category. Last year lost his luster as this upcoming star initiator in the region. Absolutely. And has refound himself on EG under Potter's leadership.
He came into this year hungry with a chip on his shoulder with a lot to prove on this new EG construct. Wouldn't say Colossus, but they're on the way.
Cryo's picked up the operator now, which 100 Thieves always obviously put so much focus on getting into his hands. One of the most dominant defensive operators specifically in the game. His consistency at finding kills, holding angles is, if not the highest in the world, among the highest.
This might be an Alchemist here into tree. Some of that Killjoy util already starting to be cleared. Jorgama gets in there as the command. Busio doesn't see any of these footsteps in front of him through the smoke, nothing. But he might be able to find a timing behind him. He gives away his position though. Bang receives contact on Nature, immediately gonna be knocked. Cryo waiting for that peek from Main. He takes down Superman, the defensive opening, getting online now. And it's a wash! 100 Thieves get their head back above water.
Absolutely swarmed. Bang looking fantastic on that backside anchor. Anything Superman can do, it seems like he can do it just as well. A tight angle from Cryo, those are the situations where he thrives. We haven't gotten to see him up in this series just yet. He's been on smokes both other maps. And this is where he takes over the game.
Looks scary. They got past Busio, who was watching tree but got smoked off the angle. Great anchoring that round there from 100 Thieves. Bang, sticking back there towards Hell, I think, to play off of Cryo. No shenanigans towards A main on that round. And this has definitely got to precipitate a timeout. Busio thankful for the opportunity to stretch his legs.
Evil Geniuses, they're headed into this one on a bad buy. They've had to save. Despite winning a number of rounds in a row, 100 Thieves have kept up that economic pressure. They're finding a lot of kills. They're finding exits.
Have to take a thrifty here against 100 Thieves to stop them from going to 11. 100 Thieves, who, by the way, still have 2 timeouts remaining, which is so big when these 2 teams are now going to be jockeying for position in these last couple of rounds. EG, this is it. The last chance for Potter to have some input.
When we head back into this, ultimates are not really in play for the side of EG either. Jorgamo is opting actually for a full armor and rifle. Going to go down to 900 credits, 2 off the Bladestorm. So hoping that, you know, at the very least, can find a kill, we'll have that available for the next buy round.
It's a Hail Mary of sorts. Brought down to 900.
It's a Hail Mary with a little bit of a fallback.
That's right, yeah. The next
a little
round,
bit of a fallback option. So long as he does find that kill.
He's willing himself to get back into this game. He has been conspicuously absent on Ascent. It's noticeable. Superman did get pinged out by that owl drone that came up mid.
And now that you know Cryo has this op, you just cannot feel comfortable peeking anything.
Can smoke him off this angle easily enough.
Contacting, pushing like that, completely off the menu.
Time now under 1 minute. EG dragging this out a little bit. Super still does have that smoke to lean on here.
And Derek, save that recon, save the drone as well. Great flash.
Cryo just has to step out of it. Oh, my goodness, George! Brought to his knees again. In a round where EG really needed him to be the star to stand up. Instead, he's a heap on the ground. And we're down to 33 seconds left. The rotate here from 100 Thieves over to the B side. They've got 2 players in Boathouse after the TP.
Yeah, that is really crucial from Bang. Time is dwindling so low right now.
20 seconds. Smoke up here for EU. He doesn't need to test mid. Derek is not going to be given a bite of the apple here. Just the shoulder and that's it. 13 seconds.
What is the play?
Spike's in mid still. They've got to run this in. Cryo does a Superman. Blatestorm is out. The 2 players anchoring inside Boathouse means that for Derek it's all but impossible. They're low though. Boostio took a shot through the wall, but here comes Cryo. Knife in the back and a little twist. It's 100 Thieves take it to 11.
And I'm worried that maybe this is the moment where EG's nerve gets a bit shattered. That was a scrambled round out of the timeout as well. Things really devolve. With 40 seconds left, it looked like they wanted to go into a B split, maybe considering, do we just shift back and try to get to A through Cat? And ultimately...
He is crouching into these shots and he's hit Jock in the head.
It is ridiculous.
Right here.
Nothing colder than Cryo, baby.
This is the full buy, though. This is why that timeout was actually taken. What is the plan from Evil Geniuses?
Scanning ahead.
Slow and steady for 100 Thieves now. Getting into the Odin buy.
Right here.
Again, those ults haven't really been a factor, as you mentioned, Wyatt. Just one here or there. Hunter's Fury available potentially for Derek in this round.
If they head towards A, Boostio has the kind of the kill molly set up. When you try to make your way towards Switch, push up Gen, you are just lit up
Is ready.
by that damage on the ground.
Cryo Op is heading to heaven as well. Great to answer this A push if it comes. They're going to disrespect the smoke and go for a jog. Dash over towards Gen. Got to be caught inside the molly now. Takes the face against Bang. It's not good enough. Cryo is lying in wait. And again, has his just desserts. Nature has it fed to him. Derek found some Hunter's Fury purchase to be sure. But this is 100 Thieves on the precipice of taking us to 11, and look at the money for EG. Bare pennies to spend. And on the precipice of making playoffs, 100 Thieves. Burgeoning with confidence.
All that from Derek for naught. 3 Hunter's Fury in this series, 5 kills with them, and none of those end up being a round win converted. As soon as you get Cryo, the operator on defense, there is no angle that is safe. A site absolutely on lockdown. Didn't have the information on Boostio's setup as well. Didn't take the time to explore the map in that situation. They get melted by the mollies on the ground. And now it's all on this. Playoff hopes for EG.
I see Cryo aiming the smoke. I get interested. I'm a simple man. Straight up mid go EG now. The blades is what Jorg had to fall back on. Otherwise, it's a Bucky. Can repeat history to keep his team in the game. Cryo sat in CT patient. And here comes the move into the speedway, but Arsenal deals with Nature coming up mid. He held the angle passively. 3 players for EG have gotten him to B, but here comes the lockdown. They've got to challenge this. Jorg's knife strikes true. EU down, and now pressure over towards stairs. Looking for another was Jorg, but they're going to get brought down. Lockdown is about to go off. They've got to stop this, but Superman can only look in from the outside. And no, the spike is so far away. He doesn't have ult to go and get it. This is all but done.
The hopes of EG's playoff run on the line, and Superman goes down to Bang. 100 Thieves revitalized at just the right time to clinch Stage 2 playoffs.
They touched down from Shanghai. They're under pressure. They've got to quickly hit the books, hit the VODs, get ready to compete with a very hungry Americas region who saw them represent them and thought, it could be me next time. And they had to fight against that, fight against their own hubris. Slow start, but now they've recovered. And they've got time to prepare for a playoff run to again represent their region globally.
And it's just been so captivating for EG. We saw them on the cusp of repeating history, what Potter and Giacomo did last year, taking this team of players that were either unknown or counted out to the top, so close to doing it again, and falling so short to their old teammates, their counterparts last year that they won Champions with.
This EG squad came in with no expectations. Going 4-5 thus far with a game to play still. Surpassed what many expected from them. But this 100 Thieves team are built for championships, built for victory. And again, with Bustio leading the way. Hard to count them out. Some moments here, I mean, we've got to talk about Superman having a great series in general, Derek coming alive in a huge way on this map, but it's Cryo who gets the duelist, who gets the op fed to him on that defense half and shuts the game down.
That was Cryo's best game of Stage 2, no doubt. Not just from the eye test, but by the numbers. Got 25 for 13. And like you said, on defense, when they feed him that operator, no angle is safe against him. He's had a tough time so far in Stage 2. Lit up every team during the Stage 1 playoffs, and if he can return to that form and 100 Thieves continue to iron out the fundamentals, which today they certainly have, you could see them getting right back to the top. It looked like they were out for a moment. This stage started so shaky for them. I mean, a loss to the winless Furia, no chance stood against Lev, and now
and an unconvincing win against MIBR, something we couldn't read into too much, but we saw a really good Lotus from 100 Thieves, right? Something that we didn't really count as part of their map pool. Now something that they might have the opportunity to make use of. Zix says, felt like we were in need of a composition swap, a new approach to their map. Now that's made a way into their pool, and they get success against one of the best Lotus teams in Americas. We're going to head down to the stage now with Van Silly for the Verizon post-match interview.
Thank you so much, Uber and Wyatt. Great cast, no notes, but LATAM Games Arena, give it up to Bang! Bang, what a quick turnaround you guys have had in the past 2 weeks, but this game was an important one, a do or die, basically a repeat of, like, let's say that game that you had against MIBR last year, but there had to be some pressure building up to this day.
Yeah, there was definitely some pressure for sure, but we tried our best not to worry about it. I think we handled it pretty well.
And going on to the stage, so once you sat down, you had to lock in. Did that nervousness even come up even more for you?
I mean, honestly, the way our coaches just guide us in the game, we don't really worry too much about that kind of stuff. We just play to try to have fun, try to play the best VALORANT as possible that we can, and we don't really worry about too much about the stakes and that kind of stuff.
Well, speaking about the conversations with the coach, we had a conversation with Zix after Coach Zix after map 1, and you guys basically let Lotus go through. And he mentioned to me, you guys don't like to play Sunset pretty much, but if we look back at a couple of weeks, EG played Furia on those 2 maps, on Lotus and Bind. Was the preparation going around watching that VOD and trying to find ways to almost anti-strat evil geniuses here?
We definitely did a good amount of anti for sure. Yeah. We were watching their VODs. We were trying to, get as much as we can, as much info as we can. But obviously, the way that our coaching staff works is, I think there is definitely some anti, but it's mostly just play our own game and try to focus on us and not really too much on our enemy.
All right, and focus on your own game was at the conversation as well, because you get onto the 3rd map of Ascent. It's a map that's never been played by EG in Stage 2. So what was the conversation with the coaching staff then?
Like I said, we don't have any VODs on them. Let's play our own game. Let's do what we do, because we are definitely a good Ascent team for sure. We're very confident in our Ascent. So that's as simple as that.
For sure. Well, the job's not done though, because now at least you've locked in playoffs, but you still have to be in the top 3 to guarantee that spot. If not, you go through circuit points. And you're pretty much in that race with Sentinels going toe-to-toe on who could get the most circuit points to guarantee that 4th spot. So next week, there's still another game in the regular season before you get into the playoffs, and that's against Loud. And Loud most recently, the conversation around the fan base is like, oh, they're wounded because they don't have a duelist, so they're just still trying to figure things out. But in your shoes as a professional player, what can you tell us about Loud? Are they actually a very tough opponent to play against?
They're definitely a tough opponent to play against. You can never underrate them, honestly. Even though they don't have a duelist, they still have a really solid team, solid roster. I mean, we're gonna care in the match. We're gonna play like because we need that point for sure.
Yeah.
So it's important to us to win that next match as well. It's not like we're not worrying about it.
And awesome. And lastly, you know, there's going to be a lot of seedings going through depending on what matches, what the results will be at the end of week number 5. Yeah, I think. But who would you like to play against if it's not going to be Leviathan, because they're pretty much guaranteed first at this point?
I honestly don't care that much about who we play against. It could be anyone. I don't really care.
Is everything going to be easy for Bang and 100 Thieves?
Hope so.
Well, hopefully that's going to be the case. Everybody give it up one more time here to Bang! And it's now time for a break, but when we come back here, we will actually have EU with the analyst desk, one of my favorites.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Every time I needed a new phone, I had to switch carriers.
I told him, at Verizon, everyone can get the best deals. Like that iPhone 15 on them.
Switching all the time, it wasn't easy.
35. You're gonna be here forever.
And
Here's your wireless contract.
do I need a lawyer for this? Those were hard days.
Representative, switch!
Now that I got a huge storage and battery upgrade, I'm officially done switching.
New and existing customers get iPhone 15 on us when they trade in any iPhone, any condition, guaranteed.
I really wish you told me sooner.
I did.
Into sight smokes and just
what's going on, everyone? These two are out here talking strategy, talking shop. You love to hear it. We got EU here joining us. Pleasure to have you here, man. First time. Yep. I've been informed. So first and foremost, man, you know that game was nutty. But the stakes and everything that was up for grabs there. No Bang said earlier that you guys don't really try to focus on that as a team, to worry about the pressure in the moment. But as an individual, right, it has to feel a little nerve-wracking. You're like, oh my God, we got to win this game or else this could be cooked.
Yeah, I mean, going into the day, I remember C9 made like the crazy comeback last night, and I remember telling my team in like our group chat, I'm like, yo, tomorrow is the game that means everything. It determines whether we make champs, whether we make playoffs. Like, bring everything you have. I popped melatonin at like 9 p.m. I got 14 hours of sleep. I was ready to come play today.
You woke up, had some oatmeal in the morning, a good cup of coffee. You were good to go. All right, love to hear it.
So your teammates were describing kind of what was happening in your first few games coming back from Shanghai as a slump. What were the discussions like after that last loss, then going into the MIBR game? Did you feel like there was a certain thing you were changing in scrims or in the discussions as a squad that kind of flipped the switch and made it feel like you were getting out of that slump?
Yeah, I think I think the big thing with our slump at the time is that it's different than like a lot of other slumps that people would usually find. It's like maybe like your opera is slumping or like your teammates just aren't shooting as well.
Sure.
Our slump was more so like, it felt like after our foot game, we like 13-3 them or something like that on the international stage. We had so much individual confidence after the win that, you know, people started doing more solo peaks, people started doing more like risky plays. We always have this system on our team kind of where anybody can go for any play if they want. But we always rely on our teamwork and we always like fall back on it. So I think the big thing that kind of caused our slump in the first place and that we kind of came back on was our team play just kind of faltered. So like when we'd be in these scenarios where they're flooding back of A on bind and we have to have like one big team fight, you know, wait for the dizzy to come up for like 3 seconds, flash, we all peek. We weren't doing that anymore.
Yeah.
So like they would come out backside, you know, one guy would be holding, he would die, the default guy would just be sitting there, the U-Haul guy would be sitting there. We didn't focus on the team play that kind of got us here in the first place, and we were relying too much on mechanical skill, I'd say.
Yeah, the like coordination, microcomms, that kind of stuff, maybe
exactly.
not being there.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask as well, you guys play more Fade comps than basically like any other team, especially in Americas. How much of playing into that agent more is about you being personally strong on the agent and something you're really comfortable with versus it being like what Zix and the team thinks is like the optimal read on the game right now?
Yeah, I mean, even like last week, I've been telling Tony pretty much like since stage 1, like I'm trying to play Breach, let me play some Sky, let me like change up the agents.
Oh, so you're in Fade jail a little bit.
Well, no, I love Fade.
Okay.
I love Fade Sova. Fade Sova are my favorite agents, but I love Breach as well. You know, he doesn't let me flex to Gecko either. I mean, I think a lot of it is definitely playing to our strengths. I think Tony's one of the coaches in the game where he knows what certain players are good at, and he knows basically like you have to play to your team's strengths. That's how it was back in League of Legends when he used to coach the LCS. So, you know, if he thinks he has a player that's really good on Fade or really good on Sova, he's going to try to incorporate, like, say, our Bind comp, for example. Back when we were running our comp on Bind, I think the meta was still Sky. So if people did want to run Gecko, it was Sky Gecko. But the way that we play Bind, it just doesn't feel like the Gecko is that high, or the Sky is that high pressure. So, like, take our Bind game even today. The Sky flashes, the Sky Dog, it doesn't really feel like it does too much in terms of, you know, pressuring you on attack, pressuring you on defense. So, you know, I'm good on Fade. We were running the Brimstone. We were like, all right, let's try running Fade on Bind. And then, you know, you got the Tether Brim ults that we do. The Prowlers and the Eyes have high re-clear chance. You know, we have like very hard to defend XX, I would say, because, you know, the Fade's going alone with double Prowler. He's self-sufficient. It's just, yeah, I think we play to our strengths, but I mean, maybe you'll see some like Breach or Sky, maybe some Gecko if they let me.
Okay.
You've become your own enemy. You got too good at Fade, and now we won't let you play the agents you want.
I feel like as a guy who does play Initiator online whenever I just solo, I'm just going to listen to you. I'm just going to learn a little bit from you. You seem to know a thing or two.
Yeah, watch some demos.
Yeah, watch some demos with you. You know what I mean? Pick up a few things. We do have a Twitch chat question that came in from Odd Cod. Okay, that's a great name. What are you most afraid of in the upcoming playoffs? Any teams that maybe that you are, you know, not particularly looking forward to playing against, or maybe looking forward to?
I mean, I'd say like the biggest thing for us going into playoffs was just to get there. I think for us to qualify to Champions, if I forget how it works exactly, but if Sentinels, Lev, and G2 make it into the top 3 of playoffs, then we'll like auto-qualify no matter what.
Yeah.
But we're also the 4th team that's in playoffs, and I believe playoff is like a 6-team bracket, right?
Yeah.
It is.
So pretty much our only chance of not qualifying for playoffs, I think, is if Cloud9 and Crew both get top 3. Because with any other scenario, we're either qualifying through points or we're going to be top 3. But our goal, honestly, in playoffs is to get first seed. I think the biggest thing Boosty said coming into Champs last year was that if you have the first seed, it's like really OP because there's no skipping groups or anything like that. But you don't have to play the first seed of other regions, which is like, you know, crazy good teams. I mean, even Paper X looks like they're back in crazy form. So yeah, we're going to look to try to get first seed, but we're not really worried about playing like any, you know, crazy team or something like that. I mean, I kind of...
So the fear is more having to rely on the Champions points to get you guys into the...
No, I mean, I'm saying like we don't really have too much fear to worry in general because we have like that safety net of champion points. I personally want to play Sentinels. We've never been able to beat them. John's beat me like, what, 2-3 times now? So like I want to beat John. I want to see if I can like, you know, overcome Sentinels.
Yeah.
That's a team I want to look forward to playing against, but not really like a team we're scared of, no.
Hey, I respect that, man. Beth, thank you so much for the question there. And let's go ahead and take a look at the standings here for week 3 of stage 2 as it comes to a close. And there it is. 100 Thieves have locked in their spot in the playoffs. That has to feel good to see that in green, right?
Look at the 6th seed. 6th seed? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, with the 11 champions points.
6th seed.
Gotta lock in for playoffs.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, I'm kind of curious if Crew, let's say if Crew loses and you guys win, does that change it a little bit? Or I'm not a bracketologist.
It could, but it doesn't matter so much unless you get the 1 or 2 and you get to skip the single limb round. If you're in single limb, it just kind of changes who your opponent is.
Yeah.
So we should know our opponent, right? Are we playing G2? Or?
Seeding can still change though, because there's another week of play for a lot of the teams.
Oh my God, yeah,
There's
you're
seeding
right.
week.
It's seeding week. Let's go. Seeding week. All right, there. Well, we have 3 more days left in stage 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at what you guys are going to be watching next week for seeding week. We're going to turn into a thing, I promise you. So on Friday, you got action starting at 5 p.m. Pacific time, and it is going to be Cloud9 taking on Crew Visa, which should be an exciting matchup. A little bit of a preview heading into playoffs, if you will. Should be an overall exciting game. And of course, for that one, make sure you guys are right here joining us right at VCT Americas. But yeah, I mean, EU, I want to thank you so much for your time, man. Absolute journey you've gone through. What have you learned from this process, being a part of 100 Thieves, being in VCT Americas? This is first season, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's right. So how has this experience been for you? Because you've been competing for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, Americas has been like pretty generous, honestly. I'm not gonna lie to you. Tier 2 last year was like grueling in the sense of we played a lot of games last year that didn't really mean much, and then we had to go to like pretty much 2 big tournaments, which was our Brazil qualifier on M80, and then we had like the very, very big tournament at the end in Ascension, which we got to the grand finals for. Having like this entire year where we grinded, we took like a max of like 2 days off the entire year, worked so hard, just to not make it at the end of it is like,
yeah,
that is heartbreaking. And I'm not gonna lie, Americas has been like a blast. A lot of the games are like fun to play. You have a week to prep perma, and like, you know, playoffs make sense and all this stuff. You get champions points. So, I mean, I've learned a lot.
Fun.
Yeah, I learned a lot about like how different teams play and like different systems and stuff like that. And I know how to play against other teams better than some. But I think like the biggest thing is just like playing with these group of guys is so fun. I'm not gonna lie. Probably my favorite team I've ever been on. I mean, like, everybody loves each other. You know, we're all like a good team. We all bond after prac and everything. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, having a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, man.
Do you feel like you've been able, because I feel like a lot of rookie players come into the league and feel like it's all about learning. It's leaning into what can my coach, what can my IGL teach me. But whenever I've talked to you, I feel like you have so many ideas about the game and so many strong opinions and stuff. Do you feel like you're putting in a lot of input into the team and shaping who 100 Thieves is?
Yeah, 100%. I think I have like a very strong idea on how the game should be played, and I have like a pretty good read on like a lot of teams while we're playing. So Boosty is like our huge caller. Occasionally I'll call like an adaptation to something, or I'll call a strat that I think really works, or I'll say like what the enemy team's about to do. Like, I think like one of the last rounds on Ascent, I saw like the M2 smoke after they just smoked M1, and like recycling an M2 smoke into an M1 smoke, and then we had no cap pressure. I was calling like, they're about to exec A, they're about to exec A on an A split. Peter knifes cat, hits like 3, we just hold down A. I think that was like a flawless round.
Yeah,
but
it was, yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I think a big thing is like, I don't feel like I'm learning a lot in the sense of like individual play. I'm more so learning how to play against specific teams, because honestly, like playing on Energy the first year before franchise started, it was like I was playing the same teams to begin with anyway back in NA. It was very hard. I'm playing hard opponents. Ascension was also hard, so I mean, it's just fun, honestly. I'm just having a lot of fun.
It's so cool to see you here now, because I feel like both the teams you were on before, with that Energy roster, you guys got so close. With M80, you got so close to being up top. But now you're here, man, and congrats on playoffs.
Thank you, thank you. Stage 1 win, playoffs, I'll take it.
Hey, you know, we'll take it, baby. It was an absolute pleasure to speak with you, brother. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you. But that's going to do it for us here. Congratulations once again to 100 Thieves locking up that last playoff spot. Thank you once again to EU, as well as Mimi, the entire crew, for joining us this week. It has been an absolute pleasure. But don't forget, we got more games coming at you next weekend. Plenty more left to play. We'll catch you then. Take care, folks. Have a great week.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you, bud. Thanks, man. We couldn't have planned the situation better if we tried. One spot up for grabs in the playoffs. This is going to be a clash.
The 2023 championship EG roster, the fragments playing against each other.
And it's Derek getting revenge against the team that dropped him heading into this year. It's too perfect.
Ascent is able to keep as good as he gets, though. Trades it out. 3 for Ascent on the round, and EU cleans it up. No one's stepping up to challenge this, though. George still able to find his first, and in the waterfall we go. Finds 2, and he almost gets away with it. Doesn't want to come back in as the second player to challenge that! What a correction from Boostio! Things they are setting up for this. Banks done briefly, very low shots come through the wall. They were good. Jorg for 2. There's the flash. Jorg had the timing. 4. They're going to go for it. There's the Prowler. It's beautiful. Bang into you, deliver. Good for 3. 100 Thieves have not played this map since Kickoff. They brought the heat today. What a way to start the series. Guess what map's next? He has to bring it down. Jorg just rips through. Under Thieves, now with a paint shell. Back in front of the TP. Emerges from the Viper Spin at just the right time. Very much ready to capitalize here. And look at the flash! It's taken! Can they capitalize? Nature trying to come into the TP and Boostio! And it'll be Nature. Oh my God! Nature! An EG! Thrifty the Thieves to take us to a third!
I mean, that's outlandish from the rookie IGL, his first year in partnership. Resulting in an upset round win. Superman starts it off.
2 from Super! Now Ewan Bang had to hold it down. Oh, the correction wasn't there! Hey, Molly's come through. Arsenal wants to try and go for it, but it's one after another one. Cryo just has to step out of it. Oh my goodness! They've got to run this in. Boostio took the shot through the wall, and here comes Cryo.
100 Thieves revitalized at just the right time to clinch stage 2 playoffs.